Hello everybody, my name is Thryss. Welcome to my channel. If you are new and if you are a returning stitchy, welcome back. I'm super happy to have you. So today we are overdying yarn. And what overdying yarn means is pretty much what it sounds like. You have yarn that's already dyed a color and you're dyeing over that color. There could be a few reasons for why you would want to do that. Say you have some yarn that has a lot of bare areas, undyed areas, and you want to fill those areas in. Or you have a yarn base and you think this would look really cool with stripes of this color across it or something like that. Or I'd love to turn this plain yarn speckled. But what I'm interested in this time is just changing the hue of this yarn. So this is a very orange yarn, as you can tell. I'm trying to achieve a coral, somewhere between a coral to a bright neon watermelon. Anywhere in between, I think I'd be happy with. So you can do that with most yarn colors, not all. Like, you can't change black. You can add dye, you can't take dye away. So black is black, you're not fixing it. But I have 10 of these. These are from, let me find my tag. I got these when Knit Crate was going out of business, except they weren't telling people they were going out of business. And they were doing all those crazy sales. So this is Overdye Wool's Sleek. It's 55% fine merino wool, 30% baby alpaca, 15% mulberry silk, 220 yards, 100 grams. So, I have 10 of these, so like a cardigan amount, sweater amount, in the orange, and then I have 10 bright green ones. The bright green ones, at some point, I'm going to overdye into like teal and stuff like that. But this one I really want to change just to a pinker hue. I don't much like pink, but I actually think it would look really pretty. So, I love like a neon coral, a neon watermelon. So that's what we're kind of going for. So we have the base of the really bright orange, and we just need to kind of change the hue a little bit. So we are just going to do an old-fashioned swatch test where we take the dry dye powder and we just put it over the yarn and we see what happens. It is not what the actual result will be if I were to do a stock solution, but I know how to pivot based off of what the dry dye powder is giving me. So I know, you know, if I need to go more concentrated, less concentrated, or if that just is not the color to use at all. Okay, so I have a few colors picked out. I'm going to glove up. Here we go. So, unfortunately, the color that I really want, that I think is actually the one that would work, which is Jacquard's neon watermelon, or neon red, or is it neon red or fluorescent red? Fluorescent red. It's one of those two, neon or fluorescent. There's only one. I think that's the way that would actually work to get it the like neon watermelon color, but I can't find it for the life of me. I've been looking all day. I don't know where it's at. So we're gonna see what else we got, and if none of these work, then I will order a new one if I can't find it. So where's my spoon? Forever losing my spoon. So normally I would do 2 hanks in here because of water travel, but I only have 10 hanks. I cannot get this again, and I'm a bigger girl, so taking 1 hank away to do the swatch testing already is eating into the yarn I have for my cardigan. So my hope is I can somehow work this into the cardigan, but I think I'll be fine losing 1. I don't think I would be fine losing 2. Okay, so we're gonna start out light, and we're gonna go with, all right, we have Dharma Flamingo Pink, Ballerina Pink, then I brought over Fluorescent Fuchsia, and I also have Deep Magenta that's kind of watered down. Basically, it's just like, it's kind of similar to fluorescent fuchsia, except not fluorescent. It's not quite as punch you in the eyeball. I have peach blush also set to the side. I don't know if we'll be using it, but I have it there just in case. So we're going to start out with Ballerina Pink. Let's see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know if I'll be touching deep magenta. I think it might be too dark. I don't know. We'll see. Okay. So if you are doing dry dye powder, you need to be using a half rubber respirator, N95 to N100. Also, if you wouldn't mind leaving a like and a comment in the not description box, a comment in the comments below, even if it's just an emoji. I'm on my way to 10K for this year, and it really helps push me out in the algorithm, and I hope you will subscribe. Okay, so this is Ballerina Pink, that's right. Alright, so we're going to start with that. Let's see. So I can see a slight change, but I don't think you guys can. I'm going to put a little bit more in there. And that's just what we're talking about. We're talking about just to where you won't look at this and think orange. You'll look at it and think coral or watermelon. I'm going to tell you right off the bat, I don't think Ballerina Pink is going to be the way to go. I think it's too light of a color to do much in the way of changing the hue of this yarn. In fact, I don't know. Let me look. I don't think it did anything. Honestly, I don't think it did anything. There's barely any dye in the pan, so it's all absorbed. I don't think it did anything. I mean, it may have, like, ever so slightly, but not enough, and I put a decent amount on there for one hank, so Ballerina Pink is out. Okay. So next we're going to go with Flamingo Pink, which has a slight peachy lean to it. I think, alright, I'm not going to go over the Ballerina Pink. That way I can get a true idea. This is more promising. It's hard to get in that bottle. There we go. Gosh, you guys might not be able to tell much until the end result. Let me look. Boy, I don't know that this is doing much either. Okay. Which is not surprising because both of these colors are pastelized more. So I didn't really expect them to work. I'm honestly not surprised that they didn't. I don't think Peach Blush is going to do anything, but we're gonna put it over the Ballerina Pink because the Ballerina Pink didn't do anything. So I mean, it darkened it, but it's still very, very orange. Okay, so those were kind of expected results. This might be a really short video. Here's where I think we would actually have some sort of change, because these are potent colors. So we're going to go in with a fluorescent fuchsia. Now I'm going to start here where no dye has been added, but I am going to over dye the areas that we just got done doing because it just really didn't do anything. It just made them darker orange. Okay, less is more. I'm not going to do very much because I don't want to make this yarn pink. I just want to change the hue. So that definitely did something, which is not surprising. I figured it kind of would because it is a potent color. Okay, so There's not much dye that I actually put down, but I'm going to feather out the ends of it just slightly. So this will tell me, one, the concentrated area, and then it will also tell me the less concentrated area of what fluorescent fuchsia looks like on here, to know if I want to go dark with it or if I should lighten it up a little bit. Okay, man, I really think that neon red was probably the way to go. Maybe not though, because honestly, looking at this fluorescent fuchsia, it almost is making it kind of red. So I wonder if red would not have been the way to go. Who knows? I don't know. All right. This is deep magenta that we're going to put here on the end. And then I'm going to diffuse it out, feather it out, whatever you want to call it, towards the fluorescent fuchsia. Okay, and then I'm going to do more concentrated fluorescent fuchsia just to see what that looks like over this ballerina, because there like wasn't any color there. Yeah, it's definitely more. And then I suppose I'll do the same. Gosh, man, I really wish I knew where that red was. This is the deep magenta. Same story. I'm not going to touch it much because I want to isolate those colors so I know in the end when I'm done what was what. Okay. My initial instinct is telling me that fluorescent fuchsia is going to be the way to go. I think a deeper version of it will not work. Yeah. So right here is the lighter amount of fluorescent fuchsia. This is the lighter amount of deep magenta. This is the darker amount of fluorescent fuchsia. This is the darker amount of deep magenta. I do think that the fluorescent fuchsia out of these options would be the way to go. These are my only pinks. I have lots of berries, but then that brings in purple, that brings in blue tones, which I don't want to put on orange. So we're gonna let that soak in. It shouldn't take too long. There's only one hank in here. These are fluorescent, so they will take a little bit longer, but we will be right back. Yeah, I think this will be a shorter video. That's okay. So, I made a rookie mistake. Question is, what to do about it? Actually, we're gonna go outside. There's still a lot of dye in the pan. I don't want any more of it to take. So I'm taking this out. This looks very red. Okay, so we're outside and I just have this sitting on my railing. It is definitely red. There are some areas that have like a glazing of pink where it doesn't look quite red. But I will tell you what my mistake was. Okay, so what I did was when I was I thought I was filming and I wasn't. I didn't realize it wasn't recording. I put in 100 milliliters of fluorescent fuchsia into the pan, which is enough to get a 1% depth of shade on a 100 gram hank, which is the standard usually. But there was already dye on the yarn, and I'm not wanting it to come out fluorescent fuchsia. I'm wanting it to come out more coral. I'm just wanting that. I'm not wanting to fully overdye it. I'm wanting to change the hue. I should have done more like 50 milliliters. So we're going to do it again because honestly, I really like that color. I like that color that it came out a lot more than I like the orange at least. So even if that is the color that I do for the entire set, I'm okay with it. I'm embracing red. If you guys have been here for any amount of time, you know I have a hang up of wearing red. And I haven't worn it since high school. So even if that's what it comes out to be, I'm okay with it. It's pretty, I'll use it. So I'm going to soak this hank, and then we're going to do this again. Now, there's already dye in the pan left over because the hank couldn't take anymore. So I'm going to do more like 40 milliliters, assuming that that will be about the same as 50 because taking into account what's in the pan. Okay, so I'm going to put 40 milliliters in here now. I feel so silly. I cannot believe I made such a rookie mistake. And I do wonder if ballerina pink is like, it's pastel, yet somehow almost neon. It's very interesting. I wonder if a pumped up version of that would have been really good. Let's see. So that's the halfway mark. Okay, I think this is about right. Okay, so now we're going to add this to the 40 milliliters, maybe 50 considering what was left in the pan. I would rather err on the side of caution than put too much again, so I can always add 10 more at a time until I kind of reach where I'm wanting to be. So this is 40, and we'll let that mostly take. Now I also have to consider there was dye on there before from where I sprinkled the dry dye powder, so I may have to do even more. You know, this may come out to be more of like a 70 milliliters or something like that, because there was some pink on there already. But I want this to basically be the bright orange that this was, but barely shifted pink. That's it. I'm not wanting like a full-on red, although I gotta tell you, as I'm sitting here looking at it, it's really growing on me. That hank that we did, that's really growing on me. So at least we know how to achieve it. And it will come out a little bit lighter after it's been dried, about, you know, a shade possibly too lighter. I really like it where it is right now, actually. It's growing on me more and more. It's really growing on me. It's pretty. Okay. So I expect we are going to definitely have to add more. I mean, there's still a decent amount of dye in the pan, but I think we'll definitely have to add more. And maybe it just turned out that color because of the, you know, all the swatches that we already had on there. So maybe 100 milliliters will be what's appropriate for it without having all of that dye that we sprinkled on there. But we'll just play it by ear. We'll do a little at a time. So right now we're at somewhere between 40 and 50, because I can't really accurately account for what was in the pan already. And then of course what we had sprinkled onto the hank, and all of those things make a difference. Okay, so I have the second hank done, and here is where we're kind of going between. We have orange right here, and then we have, this is a cashmere from Keith at Yarn Snob that is red. Now it's much darker than this in real life. It's more like what you're seeing right here. And so we're gonna fall somewhere in between those. So this is kind of where we are. This is the first one. This is what we did the swatch testing on. All of these are darker in real life, not by a ton, but the camera's kind of washing them out. But this is what we did the swatching on, and then overdyed it with 100 milliliters of a 1% stock solution of fluorescent fuchsia. And then this is what we did no swatching on, and a 0.5% stock solution. So, well, actually less than that, 40 milliliters. I think this is very close to what it is that I'm kind of going for. But to be honest, I kind of can't get this one out of my head. I really, really like this one. I think that's really pretty. This is definitely closer to what I was looking for. None of them are exact, but this is definitely closer to what I was looking for. And I think it goes really nicely with my complexion. But I like that too. I don't know. I have to think about it. I'll be right back. Okay, so after looking at it, I've decided that I'm going to go somewhere in between, and I did 60 milliliters of the dye stock solution, and we're going to see what that looks like. And because I don't think I will have settled for the lighter one. I don't know that I necessarily want it as dark as the darker one. So this somewhere in the middle will be fine, and then I can just add a little bit more dye to that lighter one to make it match this one. And then I can do all of them the same depth of shade. But this has given me an idea. And I think what I'm going to do, I was thinking about whether I was going to do this earlier, and now I've decided I'm going to. And that is with the green ones. I'm going to do a gradient ombre. I can never remember which one is which. But basically, I have 10 hanks, and I'm going to do maybe 2 hanks of each color, and I'm going to start at like a navy, and then dark teal, and then I'm going to keep just reducing the 100 milliliters per hank, and then I'll do like 80, and then I'll do 60, and then 40, and I'll just keep doing that. And we'll do like a gradient set, which can then, I don't know, I think that would work up really cool. I wouldn't really want a gradient set of the pinks and stuff, because the original color I don't really want, but the original color of the green I don't mind, but we'll still kind of lightly wash over that color as well. And I think it will turn out really cool. So that's what we're going to do with that. So we will come back and we will check this and see where we are with it in a little bit. So this one is about somewhere between 50 and 60. Where the last one was somewhere between 40 and 50. We may have to add a little bit more of this one to boost it up if it's not too different from the other one. So we shall see. We'll see what it comes out. This is fun though. And I'm learning a lot doing it too. Okay, so we are outside. My goodness, these are bright. Which is what I wanted. I wanted, neon. So we are out here. This is the original one with the 100 milliliters. This is the second one with the like 40 to 50. This is the third in between with the like around 50 to 60. So I think somewhere between 40 and 60 is probably the target depth of shade that we want. I think once this lightens, the 40 will be maybe a little too light. I don't know, I really like it. I'm hoping that you guys are seeing the difference between those two. I think when the middle one dries, it will be closer to what the lighter one is, which is good. I will go 60 milliliters, and that is going to be what I do for the rest of it. So how I will make these all match is there's no way I can make the left one match. That one is just done for. That was just a hank I'll have to use for something else. But the right one, I will put in a pan of about 10 more milliliters, maybe 15 more milliliters, and get it to match the middle one. And then all of the rest of them, I will just put in about 60. and it should all come out to be about the same thing, and I'm very excited. It's absolutely beautiful. I love this shade. Okay, so here's the end result. I have these hanged up sitting in a bag, but okay, I'm trying to find a different background. It is really bright. It's not this bright in real life. Take some of this brightness away. Guys, it is the most beautiful, like, coral pink color. It's like, honestly, I think I did a really good job. I think it's like exactly what I was hoping for. I wish it wasn't showing up so bright and would show up the true color that it actually is. I mean, this is making it look like absolutely electric orange, and it's not. Yeah, no matter where I go, I just walked around the house. No matter where I go, it comes up as this like super just electric bright. But in reality, it's this really soft. I mean, it is bright, but it's this really soft, just, I don't know, beautiful coral. It's gorgeous. I love it. I absolutely love it. It's okay. Yeah, I would just keep saying that. All right, I love you guys. Stay safe, stay weird. This was a fun experiment, and I appreciate you guys coming along for the ride. Toodles. So, post-editing Thryss here. The color that I'm seeing it look outside on the railing is far more accurate to what it looks like than what I was showing you indoors. You can probably hear Gizmo snoring, but yeah, it's great. So that was fun. Right now I am doing a color breaking video. I'm fully done. I just have to show the results and then edit it, so that will be out in a couple days, guys. Super fun and very unexpected results, so please make sure you stay tuned for that. That was a lot of fun. All right, love y'all. Toodles.